Hey guys, me again. Sorry for the lack of content lately. I just haven't been feeling it. But, whatever. Anyways, we're back. I have not been vibing with exosister eldlich lately, just as a little bit of a preamble. I mean, I just haven't really been feeling it, so I decided to go lab some other decks. Still labbing exosister, obviously, but I feel like something's wrong with the exosister eldlich list, and I'm not exactly sure how to fix it. I think it's just not good enough going second, and so I've been messing around with a bunch of stuff like DPE, some of the shit all stuff, which I'll be making videos on. I just haven't been feeling it lately. I've also been playing a lot of other games. The meta's not I don't know, super fun to play against. Like Flunder specifically, I hate how that deck plays and I hate how it works. And so when that deck's meta, I can't vibe. But when, as they say, when all else goes wrong, normal summon Alistair. So this is an Alistair invoked list. Very much still a work in progress. I'd like to stress this. It's very bricky, and I'm working on resolving that. I might cut some of the exosister cards. I might cut Sophia, Irene, and Stella, or an Ellis. Probably Stella, because I might cut 3 exosister cards, maybe an Armament, maybe a Call by the Grave or a Harpies, just because I feel like these never come up, specifically the Harpies. But I'm gonna cut something because I want to put in Prosp. But this version is definitely playable. It's really good. I like how it functions. I think it's smooth. It can be a bit bricky, which is just unfortunate. But in the current meta, if you have 2 or 3 hand traps, they won't be able to kill you for a few turns. It's just that slow. So it's fine. Anyways, getting onto the deck profile, 3 Alistair the Invoker, 2 Invocation. You could probably cut this down to 1. I just prefer 2 because I like to hard draw it sometimes, because I think just playing 2 puts your opponent on. Sometimes they don't want to Ash the Alistair, or sometimes they don't want to Valor the Alistair, and if you could just make a harder decision for your opponent or punish your opponent for wasting cards, which you can do a lot more with drawing 2 Invocation, I think it's just the best ratio. 3 Alistair, 2 Invocation was the best ratio in Duel Links, which has 30 cards. There's no one who's not going to convince me that 2 Invocation isn't the best ratio. And if you think otherwise, I'm not convinced. 3 Meltdown, obviously normal stuff. 3 Ellis, 1 Irene, 1 Sophia, 3 Stella. So the ratios for this are interesting. At least I talked about them. I would consider, if you want to play a bigger exosister core, cutting Irene. Like I said, I don't really like Irene, especially in this deck, because there's not much use you get out of her. You're not seeing multiple exosister cards, and if you do, seeing Irene plus one of these, you still have a combo anyways. So it might be worthwhile to cut Irene for another Sophia, and then if you get a Pax or something, you can normal Sophia special Ellis, or search Ellis special Ellis, or normal search Stella, or search Stella normal special Sophia, right? So the usual exosister combos. But I think there's a lot of interesting routes to be done. Maybe you cut both these entirely, right? I was saying, I don't really want to this isn't a deck. I might play this deck in paper, but I don't have money for Prosp, and I think Prosp is extremely good in this deck, just because in exosister eldlich, I feel bad about Prosp, or Utopia, I feel bad about Prosp because I want to draw off of Sophia. In pure exosisters, I don't like Prosp because you want to draw off Sophia. Even though Prosp is really good, it unbricks you so much. So I think there's maybe an argument to cut these for prosperity. It's just one of those things. Like I said, very much a work in progress deck. Moving on, 1 Inari Fire, 1 Nefarious Archfeeder, Nefarious, 2 Gigabyte, 2 Random U. So these are really cool, and I love how they function with the deck. Because you can normal Alistair, special one of these 4, and then make a Mikolas or a Caspitel, and then get a plus off of that. And so I think it's a new way to take advantage of the Invoked engine to get you more advantage, right? Because normally what you're doing is you're going Alistair link into Almirage, link into Secure Guard. Now using Almirage to then using Maximus to banish Almirage, which Maximus gets you more advantage through like sending like App Cologne and like Titanic Lad to then in the end phase grab you. You can grab Schism and end phase search Knight to Fleur-de-Lis. Yeah, so that's why I say this specifically. It's an interesting way. It obviously doesn't gain you as much advantage, but I think something like Vadis or like Armament is an interesting argument for the search, right? Because it allows you to make like if you open up Alistair, one of these, and Ellis, you could go normal Alistair, special one of these, overlay into Caspatel, and then grab a Sophia. Or wait, no, that doesn't work. But normal, you can go. It's normal Alistair, special Nefarious, special Ellis, and then you can overlay into Michele, special Ellis, and then special Stella from deck using packs. So that's it allows you to get into a UFD and Macabre, which is just two negates, which is interesting, I think, in this deck. Other than that, we're playing 2 Armament, 2 Vadis. You want to hard draw these every now and then, and I say 4 is the ideal ratio for that, right? Because I think 4 is about a 20% chance to see it, and you don't want to see more than 1 of either, really, because they're kind of the alternating search targets. So that's why. Plus, 2 is good because there are a lot of situations where you want to search Armament over Vadis, or you'll be conflicted over that. Other than that, 3 packs, good card. Called by Harpies, called by for hand traps, Harpies for back row. You just have 1 back row out. No IO anymore, but you probably want to have a 1. And then for hand trap lineups, 3 Infib, 3 Ash, 3 Nib. I still believe in Nib, even though what's his name? Brave Engine. I believe in Nib, even though the Brave Engine isn't around, because I think that just forcing an Omni negate on your turn and going 1 for 1 is very good, especially when Nib is a light target for Macabre. If they play around it incorrectly, right? Nib is just a noob killer. People don't really play around it that much, and Nib Imperm, you basically win the game. So there's a lot of cool applications with Nib. I think it's just very good, especially because you don't want any of your power plays to get negated. If Alistair gets negated, you're kind of boned. Assuming you don't have Invocation already. Well, anyways, onto the extra deck. 1 Agoides, 2 Macabre. The Agoides really never comes up, or at least I've played about 4 or 5 test games so far, plus the test hands, which I'll show. Agoides has never come up for me, really. I think there's scenarios in which it's very good. I just haven't found any yet. I'm playing it because it's good. It's good for OTKs. 2 Macabre, you usually want the second one. There are a lot of turns where I would be yeah, I want to go to a second Macabre. It's also good for follow-up. 1 Purgatrio. Again, you're playing 4 fire targets. Pretty good. 1 Raijin. If you had to make cuts, this is where I'd make it. Raijin isn't that good, honestly. But a quick play Book of Moon is still good. Plus you're playing 2 win targets. And I can't really think of anything that I'd rather have in this slot. You might be able to cut Verte DPE, honestly. I haven't thought about. Sorry, I'm losing track of things, right? But Raijin is a cut slot, and then Gaga Magician, which I'll talk about later, is a cut slot. 1 Zeus, 1 Osophiel, 1 Gibberine. You're not going to be making more than 1 Gibberine and more than 1 Osophiel. You really want to end the game as fast as possible. And if you have to lock them out of graveyard effects for multiple turns, you're losing. You're not. You want to be able to kill on the crackback, right? The idea is that with the Invoked engine, you can slow it down for 2 to 3 turns, and then by then you will have enough chip damage to win. With Vadis giving you massive plus, if you go Osophiel Micheles, you should be able to kill the next turn, hopefully. And if you can't, you should be able to set up a board that your opponent can't break. 1 Gibberine, again, it's just good for the effects of like giving 800 is good, and then the gate is always useful to have just in scenarios like it comes up, you know. 2 Caspitel. The reason that I like 2 Caspitel over 2 Osophiel is you'll often make Caspitel on your turn 1 to search an exosister for follow-up. If you already have like if you open like Vadis, Arment, and like a sister and like a Gigabyte, you know, and then like, you know, a random hand trap like Ash, you're not gonna search either of these. There's no point in searching packs really, because then you're just paying to like you're paying the special, but like there's no point in specialing anything really, because you'd be specialing Stella. Stella has no targets, so you're gonna go into Caspitel, search your target. 2 Mikoles, same reason as Caspitel. You really only want to go into it once, but you're gonna be making it on your first turn pretty often, so it's good to have a second one. Garga Magician. Applications for the UDF line, so that's why, but that's really it, honestly. Like I said, if I had to cut anything, it would be Raijin and Garga Magician, and then UDF, Utopia KG, Utopia Draco Future. For the side deck, you've got Utopia, Utopia Double, and Double or Nothing. I will side this in every now and then, side out these two specifically if I'm going second. Because I don't like these going second. You know, like you could side out like Garga and like Raijin if you wanted also. There's a bunch of side targets. But like siding out these two and then like siding out the like Called by the Grave going second, it can force a lot of stuff. You'll notice that I'm fucking loaded on going second cards, which will come back to bite me when I show you the games later, because I have a tendency to overside. I definitely need to work on siding in this deck. 3 Dark Ruler, again, a lot of Unga Bunga, fuck you combo decks. And like, I'm not buying droplets until it becomes cheaper, so I will never have droplets in paper until it's like under fucking, you know, I'd say like $20, and so that's why I'm not gonna buy it. So I'm gonna play like I want to practice like you play, basically. You know, like if you're not gonna buy droplets, don't play with droplets unless you want to, obviously. Like if your goal is to have competitive success in paper and you're not willing to buy droplets, then don't practice online like you have droplets, right? That's basically what I'm gonna say on that. Like you shouldn't have to, you know. Big discussion obviously over there, but like you shouldn't have to pay fucking out of the fucking ass for droplets. But you know, stupid people have stupid opinions, I'd say. Okay, they're not stupid, but like you get the point. It's a bad opinion, I'm sorry. But end of the battle phase, evenly matched. Everyone knows, like, if you followed this, but like I'm a big fan of this card. I put it in like almost all of the side decks I have. I think it's just so good because most boards end on like 1 or 2 Omnis and like a monster negate, you know? Probably a few monster negates, but like this is so good against Scythe. It's so good against DPE, you know, like because like it punishes them, and like if you're going second, the way you win in the meta is by either having a stupid long extension ability, like to just get through Scythe, to get through all of these like ultra like out the ass combo wazoo decks, or you have cards that will fuck your opponent over so hard that they can literally not do anything. And evenly matched and Dark Ruler are the latter, not the former, right? So the idea is that you will just annihilate your opponent out the wazoo with this one card and gain so much card advantage that even though the deck is on paper worse, you have so much card advantage because this is playing like a control deck style that you won't lose the game. Secret Village of the Spellcasters. It's just order. Like, I've talked about this card before in the tech video, but like, I'm a fan of it, especially because we're playing a bigger Spellcaster engine with Alistair the Invoker. Not to mention, if you don't have Alistair up, you're not going to be activating Invocation or Magical Meltdown. Well, Magical Meltdown is obviously a field spell too, right? So like, you're not going to be activating spell cards without, right? Because you're not going to activate Armament without an exosister on the field. Packs, you can probably just like, you know, you're probably going to want to wait until you have an exosister on the field to get max value out of it. I mean, but like, there's basically like 4 cards that you won't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 cards that you won't be activating without a spellcaster on the field. These 7. Armament, Invocation and Meltdown, right? And like you have ways to out it yourself with Meltdown, so you can like set Meltdown, get rid of you know, the Secret Village. Yeah, I think it's really good. Like Order is out of the meta, so a lot of people are playing spell cards like shuts off Droplets, shuts off Dark Ruler, and then Twin Twister for like back row heavy deck matchups. How long has this been? 15:12. So this has been a 15-minute. I'm gonna stop it here. The rest of the videos for this week are probably gonna be on Invoked, just because this is what I've been vibing with lately. But yeah, that's really all I'm going to talk about today. Have a great day.